5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, welcome to the Gringo Show. Happy February. I'm a little pissed because I ate a lot of rosca in January, didn't eat the baby Jesus, and I haven't received any tamales. I'm here with our Gringo Show team, Ileana Jimenez and Julian Valois. What's up, guys? How are you? I didn't get any tamales. Did you get any tamales, Julian?
I got 0 tamales, but I saw one on Zoom.
What?
Yeah.
Ileana, did you get any tamales?
Yes, I have 4 tamales. Very delicious. I have now a big belly.
400 tamales?
No, 4. Only 4.
I was like, Ileana ate 400 tamales this week. 4 tamales. How were they?
They were amazing. You know, con mole, con pollito. You know, Mexican style.
Yeah, but you know, somebody got the baby Jesus. They ate the baby Jesus, and then they were supposed to deliver me tamales this week, but I think it's all fake. It really doesn't happen. Who bought you the tamales?
I bought the tamales because I found the
cheated.
baby Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of those
baby Jesus, right?
where Ileana's eating her own rosca by herself, and then she had to buy herself tamales.
She ate a whole rosca. All right, guys. Julian and Ileana, we'll see you guys both in a bit. Thanks for joining us. But I feel like we're getting a little closer to a sense of normalcy without Mr. Orange Man causing chaos every time he speaks. Wait, hold on a second. Dan, you're a loser. Your show is a waste of space and no one really watches it anyway. How did Donald Trump get my cell phone number? I can't even believe he figured out how to send text to Mexico. I just can't quit you, Donnie. I just can't quit you. Although it was just announced today that those running the impeachment trial next week in the U.S. Senate have asked Trump to come to the floor to testify. Things were boring for a couple weeks, but it's starting to get good again. Maybe Trump will disintegrate and reappear as a 3-headed monster that breathes fire to let his followers into the Senate chamber. But that's next week. This week's has been about policy and pandas. Right, pandas, because these cute little endangered bears don't know crap about the pending end of the world due to climate change and COVID. The northeast of the United States this week got hit with a nasty blizzard that put over 0.5 meter of snow on the ground in New York, or 20 inches for our friends that use a system of measurement that makes pretty much no sense. I know. The storm also gave Washington, D.C. a bit of snow, and it didn't stop this panda from enjoying the fun. Panda bears are cute, but don't try to cuddle with them because they may eat you. Besides eating tamales on February 2nd, the U.S. celebrate Groundhog Day. Stop scaring me, Hector. It's a silly and unscientific tradition where people dress up, stand in the cold, and watch a small brown marmota come out of a hole to check if it sees its shadow. If not, spring is right around the corner, and if so, there will be 6 more weeks of winter.
Okay. Oh, you look beautiful today. All right. We think we have a prediction.
Yes, we have a prediction, and there's going to be 6 more weeks of winter. I mean, imagine you're the groundhog. You must think everybody's an idiot. And guess what, groundhog? You're right. Guys with too much time on their hands, and I bet at least 4 have subscriptions to Pornhub Premium. And yes, it's something only an American would do to see an opportunity and commercialize it. Said a Chilango, why didn't you just kill it and make tacos? You guys haven't had the marmota tacos? They're delicious. Tacos de marmota and Insurgentes, really, really delicious. I can't believe you haven't seen that. By the way, if you didn't notice in the measurement, the groundhog did see the shadow, and this year means many, many more COVID infections. In another developing story, the military leaders of Myanmar staged a successful coup last week, deposing the democratically elected government of that country and exerting total control for at least 1 year, citing election fraud. Election fraud? I wonder where they heard that one, Donnie. While this coup was happening, a woman was doing a workout video and I guess didn't know that the country was being overrun. Hey, there's a coup behind me and I have no idea, but my abs are so awesome. I guess she exemplifies the saying, ignorance is better abs. In more serious news, let's talk about COVID. The virus has crippled Mexico since many families got together for the holidays. 13 states have continued in the red light or total lockdown, while 17 states continue in orange and another 2 in yellow. The good news is that hospitalizations in the country have plateaued, partly due to the restrictions and new cases are down slightly. However, in some parts of the country, people are taking it a bit less seriously. This is a photo from the opening game of the Caribbean World Series where the stands were packed with fans. Probably not the best way to social distance. Get your peanuts, get your popcorn, get your COVID. Also, the race to vaccinate the entire world population of 7 billion has begun, with the United States leading the pack with having administered more than 28 million shots. While here in Mexico, things haven't been as quick, with almost 700,000 vaccinations administered. Because most people need 2 doses, that is about 0.3% of the population, and it will take until around April 2028 at this pace for the pandemic to end in Mexico. I'm sure things will speed up, and I'm hoping to be vaccinated before I get to eat my annual chiles en nogada. That's September. Don't mess with my chiles en nogada, and I want to be vaccinated for it. Also, Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador is entering his 2nd week of confinement and treatment for COVID. He was absent from public view last week, which led to speculation about his health, which provoked him to make this video from the National Palace to prove that he wasn't dead.
Ahora me presento con ustedes para que no haya rumores, malos entendidos. Estoy bien.
Well, I'm glad you're doing well, Mr. President. This week, Secretary of the Government, Olga Sanchez Cordero, who technically serves as Vice President of Mexico, announced during the president's daily press conference that he would return to his duties next Monday. By the way, they're saying Sanchez Cordero and this cute little lamb, any similarities? I mean, both have hair as white as snow, like Mary and her lamb. Or you can make that judgment, but how cute. Or maybe she's a distant relative of U.S. Congressman Connor Lamb. To look alike, no? All right. Also last Friday, Canadian Prime Minister and former heartthrob Justin Trudeau announced the suspension of flights between Canada and Mexico from February 7th through April 30th, striking a huge blow to Mexico's tourism industry with a reported hit of $750 million with lost business. No more Canadians screaming for sunscreen. For more on this, let's have Gringo show correspondent Julian Vala come back to us. Welcome more about this. Julian, we're at the show, but I just want to an incredible welcome back to the show. Julian was on the show a lot at the beginning of the show, but it's so great to see you back. How are you? And tell me, why is Justin Trudeau not a heartthrob anymore in worldview?
I'm doing great. It's great to be back on the show, Dan. Thanks for having me. Hello, everybody. Yes, maybe you've heard or read that the Trudeau stock has hit a bit of a downturn over the past few years in terms of his looks. He's known around Canada as Old Graybeard Wizard. He's getting a lot of gray, and he's no longer gracing the covers of Teen Beat magazine anymore.
Yeah, I feel like at 45, all of a sudden things start to shift for you, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm going to be 42.
Magazines, yeah.
Exactly. So, Julian, let's talk about this travel ban. It was pretty serious because it was announced. Surprisingly, why do you think the Canadian government made this announcement, and what was their concern in doing so, denying Canadians basically a place to escape the harsh Canadian winter?
That's it. This winter has been tough on Canadians, especially with the lockdowns and all the restrictions. And for those of you who haven't or are not too familiar with Canada, it's basically like a freezer put into another freezer floating on an iceberg. It's a very, very cold winter, and it lasts long. It's dark, it's windy, and And so, yeah, Canadians sometimes need a break, and we often come down to Mexico or to other Caribbean destinations. And so people were trying to get out. And to be fair, the government did warn a few times the past few weeks, like, don't go traveling now. We might close all the flights. And it caught some people by surprise. But I think it was the right move overall to, this is not the right time for all kinds of traveling, but I think it was the right move.
Absolutely. When you're saying about cold weather, it must be that Canadians are staying inside doors. And they're saying is that a lot of times when people are indoors, that's when the virus spreads. How is the conditions in Canada right now?
So, I mean, most indoor spaces are completely closed, as in for public gatherings. I noticed too that there are people complaining a lot about ordering essential goods, or if they order something online or they go in a store to buy something, things are described as essential and non-essential. So people are having a lot of kind of frustration just buying things that they need, like envelopes and some other things that might not be super essential, but are still important for people's lives to continue functioning. And yeah, I think it was kind of like a strict kind of vibe. I actually went to Canada over this past January and had to rush back. I did a 14-day quarantine, and the police checked on me twice to make sure I was doing it, or they would have given me a hefty fine. Yeah, they also made a few calls too to check out, make sure I was there.
That's funny. Is the Mexican police were checking on me, but they just wanted some beer.
Right. Yeah, I offered some beer to the Canadian cops, and it didn't go so well.
Absolutely. But, all right. Show Cronin, proud Canadian Julian Valbot. Thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate having you here. All right. The U.S. Congress has been in negotiation these past 2 weeks to approve a new coronavirus bill to help the economy and Americans in need. Democrats preferring a larger aid package of more than $1.9 trillion. That's right, trillion. In Spanish is billones, and billions in Spanish is mil millones, or 1,000 millions. Confusing? Yes. It's just like the puzzling things Americans deal with, that limon is a lime, but a lima is not a lemon. It's a type of lime. And limon amarillo is a lemon. Very important, gringos. You could have made that mistake at the grocery store if you weren't watching this program. I wish back in then the English and Spanish could have had a council to decide these things, so hundreds of years later, we wouldn't be confused. Thanks for nothing, British Empire. The aid package that the Democrats are proposing will give $1,400 to most Americans, which is the equivalent of 28,400 Mexican pesos por cada Mexicano. Imagine that quincena, Mexico. The malls would be packed. Acapulco will be buzzing for like 3 days, and then everyone will be broke again. It will also give people $400 a week through September if they're unemployed. It also supports schools to open again safely. To aid in my cause that we think AMLO would really be a Republican if he was a politician in the U.S., the Fourth Transformation has continued to cut budgets in austere actions that are unique for most other countries. Many have criticized his actions because there are a lot of people who desperately need help. Lines at food distribution sites are very long, and millions have crossed the poverty line. Many people are not paying their rent and trying to get by during this serious time. Yet projects such as a new refinery in Tabasco, the airport in Santa Lucia, and a train, if you're really interested in traveling from Chetumal to Ciudad Carmen, are continuing, but free vaccines for everyone. But why is the president taking this action? Some say that during the economic crisis in 95, he witnessed the government borrowing a lot of money and going deeply in debt and risking its national sovereignty in order to pay its debtors, similar to what has been happening in recent years in Argentina. We know that AMLO cares deeply about this, and he justifies his policies based on a stronger, independent Mexico. However, he recently asked to borrow money from the World Bank to shore up the economy and continue these projects. When this is all over, we'll find out who's right or wrong. Maybe other Latin American countries will go deeply into debt and have financial ruin, and Mexico makes it out okay. Only time will tell. The Super Bowl will kick off this Sunday in Tampa, Florida, where you can buy a shirt that says, "I went to the beach and theme parks, and all I got was this lousy COVID." This is Super Bowl 55, yes, the 50th edition, where we ask ourselves, why the hell are we still using Roman numerals to represent numbers when the Roman Empire fell 1,626 years ago? And we say here in Mexico, using Roman numerals, that's fresa. No, that's muy fresa. For all those watching who don't really care about football, it's fine. The Super Bowl has many more things to watch and care about. For more on this, let's go to our experts, the lovely Ileana Jimenez. And to tell us more about the commercials that are on the Super Bowl, let's welcome Jacobo Fernandez to the show, strategy lead with Starcom Mexico. Guys, I hope you're enjoying the show. A lot of
We
jokes
are.
today.
How are you? Thank you
I'm
for
good.
having us.
No, of course. Ileana, tell us, you were at the Super Bowl last year, weren't you? You were on the sidelines. You have your ticket, I know. One of my dreams in life is to go to Super Bowl. If you're not really a Super Bowl fan and you don't like football, you don't watch it during the year, why should you tune in? Because like all Americans watch the Super Bowl, even if they like it or not. Hold on, Ileana, you just want to unmic. There you go.
Right now, we don't have any option, because everybody, we are on our houses. So, well, it's a great, Super Bowl to watch. Why? Because, there are two teams. So if sometimes you say, okay, I go with the Reds. Well, guess what? This time, both teams has a similar, uniform. So this time in this Super Bowl, you really need to know who is gonna play. Kansas City Chiefs won last year championship, and they're going to play against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, so the reason you have to pay attention, it's on their helmets. So if you want to go with the Chiefs, make sure that this helmet has arrowhead featuring KC. But if you go with the Buccaneers, okay, that they are going to play in their own stadium for the first time in history in Super Bowl, you have to know that they have the flag with a pirate on the helmet. So right now,
So if you were choosing, Ileana, sorry to interrupt, but if you were choosing on which uniform looks better, which one would you choose? Just based on the uniform.
I will go with Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, of course.
See, that's the way. So if you don't like the Super Bowl, you don't like football, you can choose which is your favorite uniform or who are the hotter players on the team too. You can do that as well. Now, Tom Brady, tell us about Tom Brady, because Tom Brady now has 6 rings and he's playing again, but with a different team, right? With Tampa Bay instead of New England.
Exactly. It's his first season with a new team, and it's already on the Super Bowl. He's only 43 years old. He has 6 rings. He's looking for his 7th ring, and he's going to play against a young quarterback. It's Patrick Mahomes with only 25 years old. It means that this huge difference, it's around 18 years, between these two quarterbacks. So they are so hot right now. So, we're going to see a lot of action. There's no space that you maybe will, bore or whatever, because you will see these amazing stars on the field. And of course, we have an amazing halftime show and commercials. The Weekend, it's gonna be on this halftime show. And
wait, who's gonna be on the show this weekend?
No, not this weekend. Yeah, this weekend is gonna be the Weekend.
No. Who's gonna be on the show? I know it's this weekend, the Super Bowl, but who's gonna play in the halftime show, Ileana?
Dad, it's the singer, the Weekend.
Oh, their name is The Weekend.
Yes, of course. And there are kind of rumors that Daft Punk is gonna be on the halftime show. They say that it costs like $7 million, and well, there's no way that you get bored on this Super Bowl. And of course, because now we're gonna have the chance, and it's the only option that you will have on your TV. And of course, we're gonna have this opportunity to watch
channel,
this
right?
amazing advertising.
Of course, it's the best thing.
Yeah, so let me cover that. Ileana's a host, and she likes to host the show. This is my show, Ileana. I'm the host. I get to ask the questions. It's confusing. Jacobo, thanks so much for joining us, Jacobo.
Thank you.
And as I mentioned, you're the strategy lead with Starcom Media, so you're into commercials. Now, commercials are really an important feature of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the U.S. watched it for the commercials, and I have a reel that I want to start with, and I want to ask you some questions after it, because I found 4 of the best commercials in Super Bowl history. Let's take a look.
Let's see.
January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.
Mike, come on!
Mike, what is your deal, man?
Oh, come on, man. You've been riding me all day.
Mike, you're playing like Betty White out there.
That's not what your girlfriend said.
Baby.
Whoa.
Eat a Snickers. Better?
Better.
It certainly is a big bun.
It's a very big bun.
Big fluffy bun.
It's a very big fluffy bun.
Where's the beef?
Some hamburger places give you a lot less beef on a lot of bun.
Where's the beef?
Guys, I love that Where's the Beef commercial. If you're old enough and you know the Where's the Beef, that commercial was super successful and millions of people said Where's the Beef. So Jacobo, it seems like some iconic Super Bowl commercials, and it's really important to advertise on this Super Bowl. Tell us more about this.
They are. Every single year we have thousands of pieces that we can be here talking about and relevant messages, right? So forgive me, Ileana, I hate sports. I know nothing about them, but I can tell you a lot of this about advertising. So we see, the Super Bowl is massive and reaches millions of people, not only in the US, but let's take Mexico for an example. It's reaching more than 8 million households here. So it's super important for brands to take a message out there because we know everyone is going to be watching it.
Absolutely. So let's talk more about in the US. There's about you were mentioning $5.4 million for a 30-second ad this year. We know that the big boys like Budweiser and the famous Clydesdale horses that we saw in this commercial, not advertising. Some other people pulled out, but what we're seeing is that there are going to be some newcomers coming to the Super Bowl. To tell us more about this.
Yeah, so I think the Super Bowl is a space. It's a wide canvas for brands just to take over and put a message out there. It has to get the compliments of good storytelling, something that tells people a big message. And I think this year is going to be very relevant because of the pandemic and stuff like that. Brands are going to be telling a story beyond just buy the brand for me, right? So you're going to see a lot of brands taking a really positive message, empathic messages about what's happening right now.
That's really important. Tell us more about here, because most of our viewers are here in Mexico. We're going to be watching some of the commercials. What players are usually here in Mexico, and what are you expecting on Sunday?
Yeah, so we see a lot of players from national broadcasters, Televisa, TV Azteca, ESPN, and others. But people here really have a passion for advertising for the Super Bowl. And you can watch the ads afterwards on the game on YouTube, right? So people go often there and share their best pieces because they found a relevant message here. So we know as for media, we know that people's going to be sitting down there watching the game, but also expecting and looking and using social media to have a conversation about where the ads and the messages that are being put in out there. So it's a perfect place and the perfect spot to be judged and to be heard as a brand.
Absolutely. Now Pepsi is doing an incredible campaign this year. As Ileana mentioned, The Weeknd will be there, and Pepsi has linked The Weeknd's music to their brand. Tell us more about this strategy and how do you think this is going to play out for them?
I think as Pepsi is, the brand awareness that they have is huge, and the relationship to music and big sports events like this, it's amazing. And there are so many other examples from other brands that tend to do this. So product integration and finding the right relevant message in a big and important event like the Super Bowl, it's a perfect place to have this type of integration. So I think it's going to be very successful. And people will always remember this.
Absolutely.
Yes,
So,
and you know what? The Weeknd has the most popular song on the 2020. Have you done the TikTok? Ding, 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 ding,
I haven't. I promise I will. I can do it with you.
Of course, Liliana, who's your pick? The Bucaneros or the Jefes? Would Indian Chiefs beat Pirates on ships, or vice versa?
Yes. No, yo creo que ganan los jefes, Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, I go with them.
City Chief.
I'll go with
Jacobo, I'm not
those
going to ask you
two.
because you don't care about any sports, but what is the commercial? What is the brand that you're going to be looking for to watch on the commercials?
Well, P&G, of course, because I work with them. So probably Tide, which is yeah, it's our client, and I love them. McDonald's as well, and let's see where other surprises may come along.
Okay, well, another surprise, and I'm sorry, you guys, because we are in sana distancia, but if you're hungry in the Super Bowl, you can order one of these beautiful Pinche Gringo barbecue boxes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to pay your ad for that. So yeah,
And as I said on the last show, if I was to marry something, I would marry this BBS. We got all these things. You got a.
That's a good one.
That's a good commercial, right, Jacobo?
Yeah, that's a perfect integration. Totally. I hope you're paying. I hope you're really paying for this.
I can make the music then.
Anybody wants mac and cheese? There you go. That.
No, wow.
So boxes are available on the WhatsApp down below and at pgbbq.mx. I'll have to pitch our sponsor guy, Pinche Gringo Barbecue. They're paying the bills. So you can get all of these things. I don't know if you can see it, but, beer and sandwiches and pickles and everything on those. So support your local restaurants. Ileana, it's always amazing to have you on the show. Jacobo también for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And then let's watch those commercials. All right.
That's it. All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Gracias.
For this edition of the Gringo Show, we hope you enjoyed it. We're going to take a break next week, but we will see you back on February 18th for another episode. In the meantime, please remember to check out our sponsor, Pinche Gringo Barbecue. Should be a great game, so it'd be great to compliment that delicious 14-hour smoked food, right? Pinche Gringo. It's delicious. Sorry, they're sponsors, all right? They're paying for it. Jesus, I'm just kidding. All right, see you in 2 weeks. Have a safe and happy time. Have a great night. Go Chiefs. I hate you, Tom Brady.
Pinche Gringo. Hey. Mexico is laughing thanks to you. We like to watch you dance salsa and listen to your bad Spanish too. We like to watch you almost die from spicy food.